I'm a writer and illustrator of educational books, particularly history, archaeology, and ancient history. There is a tradition for Roman films, for Greek settings, and medieval settings. So the people have made an effort, to be very precise on not only on dates and facts, but names, but exactly what they look like, the setting look like, or the landscape, or the houses look like, boats. If it's a game, you may learn as you play. It's a better exercise than just fun or competition. I'm always for education, so not just fun, because both things can go together. It's very realistic. Yes, they are very impressive. They're not historically accurate. They are too colorful, and the stones are not quite right. There are too many trees thrown around like that. If there had trees, it would have been laurel and box, wood, and so on, and very regularly arranged, Not just trees growing casually here and there, cyclists. Anything artistic, any decoration and so on, is not accurate. For the ordinary viewer, it can evoke ancient Greece, but not to me that I know all the details. It's a whole thing. I mean, the characters are okay. I mean, you don't know the Greek. The Greeks, we know the statues of the Greeks, but they were stylized. As you see, there are some slaves, some black slaves and so on. The people are right.
The Spartans may draw near to our walls, but we must come together now for the glory of Athens. Glory for you!
I can't imagine things being exactly like this, of course. To be blunt, I can say everything is wrong, but for someone who's not an expert, it can be evocative. It does give a vague idea of how the people walked about and so on, how they gathered by the theatre. But even the mountains, the rocks around the mountains are not quite correct. But they weren't just columns standing around casually like this. From geology to artifacts, I find it all fake, if you ask me. At a glance, I can see the fake. It's a fantastic work. I'm not knocking it. You don't quite know what it was like. That's the problem. You don't quite know. The statues are awkward. There is also a mixture of periods. Something is 300 or 400 years before or after in the same scene. There are things that are earlier or later than they should be. No, it's the decoration and the colors of these gates, the interiors. They are colorful. And of course, I said that the Greeks painted the marble, but the way they painted, it was painted in a certain way that tells you what year it was, what fashion, whether it is the 5th century or the 6th century or the 4th or the 3rd century. I've seen a theatre and it's got the seats are not rounded. They're not rounded because the base of the theatre was a circle in the center, and then all the steps and the seats all around, And it's not like that. It's a square. It's all square. And the temples are too decorated for being the 5th century. Nothing is much later. Also wrong. there is some accuracy to the shape of the temple and so on, the figure of Athene, the goddess, but it's a little more too colorful. It's all very, very much a fake. They are not in the style. They're not as beautiful as you see them in the museum, for example, because statues still exist. You can see them in any museum, and they are not done very well. To be fair, I will give a 5 out of 10 because the good intention. Obviously, these people knew that the temples weren't white, very colourful, but the colours are wrong, and there's too much gold around. It's impressive. I mean, it's impressive because when you see the aerial view of Athens and so on, it's evocative. An expert won't give a minute to it. Obviously, they have seen something. They have documented themselves about the Pantheon, about some other temples. But the statues, there's not a single statue which is credible. They're wrong, all of them. It wasn't so colorful and so full of gold. Well, forgive me if I'm critical, but the expert's eye is very demanding and very critical, always. Ordinary people are not interested in the accuracy of the art and the surrounds of Athens, the mountains, the rock geology. I can see people liking it and playing and so on and enjoying it. Well, as an entertainment is effective. I think it's a winner.